to Bustérs, the new improved Bustérs. I have a friend who only listens to songs that aren't popular. He thinks he's being a rebel. He says, I don't want culture to tell me what to listen to. But he doesn't realize that instead he's letting culture tell him exactly what he's not allowed to listen to. I've considered skinning animals for a living, but I don't want that much blood on my hands. We have the HB dictionary that we always add different things to it. The new one is reverse beard. You've all heard of beards. When you live in a predominantly gay area and you have a fake. Let me rephrase that. When someone's gay, they have a beard. When they're homosexual, male, they'll find a woman out there to be their beard. But what if you live in a predominantly gay area? What you want to do is have a fake same gender partner just to fit in. Example would be, Greg was straight, but he didn't want to be made fun of, so he asked Matt to be his reverse beard. I like no-nonsense guys in movies like Nick Offerman, but boy, oh boy, do I not get along with them in real life. I mistake their straightforward honesty with them hating me. When I'm around a no-nonsense guy, I turn into a scared 8-year-old boy saying things I'm supposed to say, like, sorry, sir, I meant to do that, honest. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what that one meant. I have a new system called the CAMF system, which states that I don't care if you're gay, Mexican, jobless, trans, or Muslim, as long as you're a cool-ass motherfucker, you're all right with me. This is not on YouTube. Good to see you folks in the chat. Wonderful to see you here. This is an Instagram exclusive. But I hear live streamers all the time justifying their actions by saying, Opie and Anthony did it. Look, if you really want to go down that road of living your life based on Opie and Anthony's behavior, I have some things to tell you about Anthony's sex life. Look, I enjoyed Opie and Anthony, but I wouldn't condone that type of behavior in my real life. Tough crowd is my limit. Opie and Anthony is like if they took Tough Crowd's fairly edgy model and said, let's bring our tastelessness to the extreme. Bustérs is a scam. Tell me more. Explain that. Explain how this is a scam. If you're wondering how mature I am, I can't even put together Lego sets that were designed for kids to assemble. If you're wondering how mature I am, all right, I already said that one. Blue Bubble text app. It's an app for Android that lets you fake a blue bubble for for your kids to use. These kids are snobs. To feel like they're in the club when they're actually not. Fuck, my screen's already going out. People say I make fun of Red Bar too much, so I try to do it sparingly. I just wanted to say one thing. I'm not saying Red Bar's dumb, but he's the type of guy who would see one gay guy eating sushi and start to think all gay folks eat sushi. Why do we have no viewers? Well, that's because, this is an underdog. It's too good. I'm trying to keep it underground. At least that's what I tell people. Gavin McGinnis complains about whiny liberals who cling to lies and let their emotions run the show? Does he realize that he's a whiny conservative who clings to lies and lets his emotions run the show? I don't think he does. And that's what makes him such a fascinating person. You know, if he's an alcoholic, it would make sense because you got to be on some kind of drug to maintain that kind of cognitive dissonance. When you're not sure if you're dreaming, one of the things you can do to... These jokes seem read off Google Docs. You know, I'm a big fan of Google Docs, but, you know, I'm more of a Windows guy. Now, this is a professional show, okay? You know, when you're not sure if you're dreaming, one of the things you can do is count your fingers. It works. It works really well unless you really want your dream to be real. Then you start thinking, maybe this is just one of those days where I have 7 fingers on each hand. That's a reference to dreams. You know, Joe Rogan's kryptonite is clearly attractive Asian women. If you're an attractive Asian woman, you can go on JRE and say, you know, a lot of people say the grass is green. That's an optical illusion. It's actually purple. The dopamine in your brain makes it appear green. And he would say, oh yeah, that's a great point. I have a bisexual friend who doesn't believe in multiple personality disorder. I said, yeah, but you're a gay person and a straight person. That's 2 personalities right there. You know, people say that top-tier alphas don't flex, but what about every MMA fighter who thinks that they're hot shit? I'm talking about you, Israel Adesanya. You know, I try to do good deeds. My good deed for this year is letting Cosmic Cam and RDA think that they destroyed me and my channel. It will help their self-esteem to feel like they have accomplished something and made it to the top of the heap and have destroyed me. So please, you know, don't let anybody know. I want them to have fun with it. But, you know, in a sense, you know, people like to say that Rich Voss was dumb. But I actually think he's pretty smart. He knew how to roll with the punches, you know, and then tell a good joke when he had one. If he was actually the dumb guy, he would have, you know, that people think he is, he would have been a freak like Opie who cries about everything. Here's a joke written from the perspective of a guy who likes Chinese women. I like my Chinese food like I like my Chinese women. Chinese. You know, I like to tell people that I used to be fat just to see the look on their face. Oh shit, what do we have here? Is this some kind of superhero? Is this Iron Woman? Not, is that your COVID mask?
I had extensive surgery. Okay, let me read. Okay, Bustérs is a scam. Let me read your comments because you're not reading.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah, let's do that.
HB skin look good, like full fat butter. PHAT, like full fat butter.
Don't know what that is.
How am I asked to co-host a random show in a broom closet, not on YouTube with an audience of no one? Okay, Levy has lefty the chat. Read my comments
All right,
about
these are all good comments.
content. In still here. Levy is not here. I'm still here. Jarva is sassy tonight. Read my comments from beginning, please. These jokes seem right off Google Doc. If stand-up comedy was a PowerPoint on a topic you never studied and you couldn't read. What are the bottles up top? Your pantry is more interesting. Please go through it. So the people want you to go through your pantry, actually.
Oh, the people. All right, the people want me to go through my pantry. Well,
yeah, that's what the audience is asking for.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's always interesting. We got sweet peas, tuna, and pinto beans. Is that interesting?
Especially we want to know what those bottles up top. There's a lot of Poland spring water, but there's also a few bottles with plastic caps on them, and people want to know what that is.
I mean, we've got Polar.
No.
I don't know.
I'm glad I prepared. Can you angle it up? I know what the people are referring to. I'm
glad I prepared for this, because this is what people really want, right?
Those next to the Polands. Okay, the orange and the yellow. That's particular. Yes, we need to know about that. What's those?
That's for the universal audience. That's seltzer. You familiar with?
You have canned seltzer, and then you have some bigger bottles of just big bottles. Bottled seltzer?
Big bottles of seltzer. Sure.
How do you decide, when you're picking your seltzer, how do you decide to either open one of those big bottled seltzers or go for a canned seltzer?
I mean, it depends on if I'm in a mood to party, and I want to have fun, I'll go with the big bottle. If I'm just trying to have a casual night,
so the bottle is this for yourself or for you and company?
The bottles are for, I don't make rules. I don't tell people what they can and can't have. So I'll let, if somebody comes in, I'll let them pick out whatever they want. People usually go for the can. When guests come over, we'll have them use a glass with ice. That's what I prefer people to have. Because if you're coming by, you stay for a while. Drink out of a cup. Drink out of a glass. I mean,
it doesn't make you stay any longer than drinking out of a can, does it?
Well, I mean, I don't really. Cans are for the road. If you're going out and you're gonna go on a road trip, you drink out of a can. If you drink, you're drinking outside. If you're having a party, you drink out of a can. Now, I know you have your own specific opinions about cans and bottles, and bottles are dangerous because they give you disease, right? Like this, you would never drink out of a bottle like this.
I try not to. Because of the plastic. Because the
plastic turns you. I don't know what it does. It gives you disease, right? It gives you cancer.
Yeah, it's not good.
Microplastics make people's genitals shrink. It's well documented.
What's that?
This is
Oh, what's that?
Shapagatti.
Oh, is that the Indian shit?
I don't see race. I think it's from another country though. Possibly China.
No,
this is China.
It's not
Chinese.
Indian snacks. Is that like a snack? Could you eat that on camera right now?
I mean, I don't really eat on camera, but if I were, I would eat a big bowl of shapaghetti.
Can you just eat that? Just raw?
Is that
that weird little finger snack? Indian stuff?
No, it's not really a finger snack. It's more of a, it's like more of a heat up snack for people who want
a pasta.
It's like, like that pasta that people eat when they have no money. When they're trying to save money. Ramen noodles. It's like ramen noodles.
It looks like that weird little Indian snack, but okay.
I don't know what Indian snacks you're eating, but
I don't eat them, but I have eaten them. It's like
Okay.
Chattahoochee or Chattahoochee or some shit.
Chattahoochee. Yeah, I mean Chattahoochee. It sounds
Some weird
good. It
shit
sounds
that they
delicious.
serve in little
What?
bowls. You can get in a bag or you can find in a little bowl in an Indian
Okay.
restaurant.
Yeah, I mean it's great. It's if you like. I never had it. I'll have to try some Chattahoochee. Where do you get that? Is that at like
Indian places.
Okay, all right. I'll look into my local Indian place. Speaking of Indian, we got this chickpea masala. That's good stuff. What's up, dog? How come your dog doesn't have a mask? Do you have
That
a?
does actually.
Oh, nice.
She has
All
a
right.
actually it's probably around here somewhere.
Okay.
Actually,
Very good.
yeah, she has a mask, and
Good. Good.
she it's one of her prized possessions. Is it your
Mm.
mask? And
Oh,
it's
she
the
got a
only like my
COVID mask.
stuff, all my stuff she rips up, but her precious COVID mask she keeps in pristine condition.
Okay. Well, that's good. She
She
knows what
never
matters.
she destroys my stuff and then she has this little COVID mask that Shane gave her and she just keeps it in perfect condition. Not like my
Um,
earpods or anything else. She's a
Good for her.
she's a very depressed dog. So
Now, why is she depressed?
well
Because I did.
she has improved. She's improved somewhat in her disposition, but she's very angsty. You hear her?
Yeah.
She's got a lot of angst. She's
Is
got a
she?
lot of anger and sadness in her. And
Is
we just
this?
have to slowly exercise it.
Is she a rescue dog,
I
or
mean,
or did she actually rescue you?
we don't know what's going on. We don't know. We just have. Oh, she's taking her mask off.
You gotta.
Oh, she took her mask with her. She's not trustful of the situation. I don't know. I guess she's not a Bustérs fan. She also thinks that the new Bustérs is a scam. I guess.
I don't know what this. I mean, that's like.
Why is
That's you're free to think that. I don't know what you're basing that on.
randomly on times? Why do you ask me to co-host this show when this show is a joke? That's all I just want to know.
I
I
mean,
came
it's
on to read my
not
comments,
really.
but I'm here.
Well, I was trying to. I mean, I'm trying to build it up. I'm trying to make it into one of the
You
great
know,
shows.
Instagram for nobody. You don't have an Instagram for like what? You're just copying me, and you're also asking me to be on your show, and then you're telling me I can't be on it.
Some people would take that, would be flattered that that I'm learning from them, that I'm like learning from the best.
You're not
You
doing
should take it as a compliment.
You should be doing
But
YouTube and Instagram at the same time, first off. You should ask me to be on the show if you want me to be on it, second off. You should tell people what time it is and when it is. During the week, it's going to be a live interactive show.
That's a lot of shoulds.
Cards and mess up your own jokes.
I mean, I don't know if that's true. And I'm taking the criticism in stride, but it doesn't really hold much merit, I don't think, because I didn't say, this is a new era of Bustérs. This is Bustérs. This is the new show, Anti-Sam. This is a different thing than it used to be. And, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I don't have like people here like Tyrone to belittle and shit on. I don't have a person who wants to kill all the virgins. I don't have that stuff. Maybe I'll have that stuff on my show. Maybe I'll just like. Are you saying that my show should just be a version of your show?
No, that's not why would you think I'm saying that at all?
Well, because I mean,
Is that's what
it
you're
sounds like.
trying to do. It sounds like you want a version of my show, but you don't have any interesting friends
Well, I've
that
always wanted it to be you. That's the secret. I've always wanted to be you. And I'm
you
working
could
my
start
way.
off by just coming on my show that you miss every week,
Wait, when
or
the show was it?
telling me about your show that I've agreed to be on, but you won't tell me what time it is, and then you adamantly and don't tell me what time it is, and you make this whole rigmarole out of it.
Well, the truth. I think you've. I'm starting to think that you've graduated from the show and that you're doing your own show, and it's too big
I've
and
always
it's too much, and you've got. You're like, for example, did you have a show yesterday? Did you have a live stream yesterday?
no,
Okay, so I didn't miss the live stream because there was no stream.
but
Um,
if there was, then you would have missed it, right? Because you don't even know if it happened or not.
well, sometimes I like to, no, like sometimes I like to show up and be like really on top of it and be like, be there every week and make sure people are depend on me. But then I realize like that's too much. That's too much. I don't want to just like be a content whore who's just giving myself away for free on the internet. Like I want to like, be top tier. You know, I want to be like the Theo Vaughn of live streaming, where people are just like think that I just got it. Like Theo Vaughn. Are you a fan of him?
From the Mindy Doctor show.
I don't know that show, but yeah, the Mindy Doctor show. Is that an Indian guy?
On Mindy,
Yeah, who's that?
you want to be, you know what, Fox?
All right. Well, it was good while it lasted. We'll see if we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the future. That was Jarva, ladies and gentlemen. Very good stuff. Hopefully, we'll have her back on the show in the future, and she'll have like some other crazy mask. I didn't even know you could get light up masks that look like a Chinese female Iron Woman. A lot of people say that what Hitler did was wrong, and I agree. That mustache was fucking hideous. On the Joe Rogan subreddit, somebody pointed out that the world's tallest man was named John Rogan. It's amazing that the world's tallest man and the world's shortest man have almost exactly the same name. Those comics always talk about how great their wife is and how bad they are. I want to meet that woman because she's either an angel or a grade A piece of shit who belittles them all the time, and I'd like to find that out firsthand. I was talking to someone, and I said, school shootings are a horrible occurrence in America. And they said, well, obviously that goes without saying. Who would disagree with the idea that school shootings are a bad thing? And I said, I don't know. Maybe school shooters? These liberal females, I got a friend named Joe, and he told me, it's easy to hook up with a liberal woman. You just have to appeal to their sensibilities. You say, hey girl, you're getting fucked by capitalism. You're getting fucked by the healthcare system. You're getting fucked by the patriarchy. Why not get fucked by me? At least I care about you. You know, there's this stereotype that video games are for losers, but it's an over $200 billion industry. Are you telling me all that money comes from losers? You know, these parents who call their kids ungrateful are ridiculous. If your kids are assholes, the people you should be mad at aren't your kids. It's the people who convinced you to have kids in the first place that you should be mad at. Depressed people can ruin your day because they project their depression onto whatever you're doing. You know, you could be eating an ice cream cone, and they'll say, look at how you're eating that ice cream cone. You look depressed. And even though you weren't depressed in the first place, you'll start questioning yourself and think, shit, maybe I am depressed. You know, it's funny when people insult Hassan Piker because what they usually say is, you know, Hassan, you're not even a good broadcaster. You're just a guy women are attracted to. If I was Hassan, I'd say, well, you got me there, bud. All I am is attractive to women, the thing that every guy wants to be and spends all their money on. You're right. That makes me a real loser. They should bring back cigarette commercials, but force companies to be honest. For example, they could say, Billy Joel once said, only the good die young. Well, we agree. So be a good person and smoke Marlboro cigarettes. My friend is a motivational speaker. My other friend is a pair of motivational headphones. This guy, Hassan Piker, makes 7 figures a year talking about how capitalism is bullshit, which makes me think capitalism isn't bullshit. When you're smart, there's this dysphoria that can happen where you think, I'm glad I'm smart, but I'm not glad that so many people are stupid. I don't like that joke because it makes me sound like I'm saying I'm smart. It's amazing that Ross Dog is against gender transitioning because I could tell he was a lady since day one. The ironic thing about white supremacy is that when you let me know you're a white supremacist, that's when I finally know there's nothing superior about you. You know, I was reading this guy Ross Dog's community posts. He has a way with words. Unfortunately, all his words are misspelled. You know, but just, you know, Ross Dog's an amazing guy. He actually wins arguments because he's so dumb that the insults can't sink in. His armor is his stupidity. You know, I want to be the type of guy who buys a Dodge Neon from 1998 and says to people, you know, not everybody can buy a car as nice as this. You know, the Bible should have been more specific about who should have kids. Instead of just saying, be fruitful and multiply, it should have said, be fruitful and multiply if you are incredibly wealthy. Otherwise, you will resent your kids for soaking up all of your income. You know, they always say that your clothing changes your attitude. But for some reason, I never believe it. But it's definitely true, you know. I put on a polo shirt with patterns on it, these like grown-up patterns. And for the first time in my life, I felt 32. And that was not a good feeling. Yeah, I want to know if this gender wage gap applies to trans folks. You know, is making money really as easy as just getting a penis attached? Tony Hinchcliffe is a guy who shouldn't be doing comedy, who makes money telling other people they shouldn't be doing comedy. But Tony Hinchcliffe isn't a comedian. He's a guy who decided that he was bullied enough in high school So for the rest of his life, he would be the bully. And I think it's weird when comedians get mad at other people for trying to sound smart, because every time a comic makes a joke, they're trying to prove to themselves that they're smart and witty. Tony Hinchcliffe wants to be a roast comic, but he has a wimpy, pathetic voice. That's like being a sumo wrestler who weighs 80 pounds. I don't mean to sound racist, but it's hard for me to be offended by a person with a thick foreign accent because I don't consider them to be real people. Hassan Piker is what I would call a Chad nerd. He has the physique of an alpha male, but whines about hate words and transphobia. All right, folks, that is the end of the monologue that I can't read. That's on a on a Google Docs file. You know, I'm impressed that she knew the actual software I was using, because I'm not a big, you know, I don't reveal my secrets, you know. But yes, it's a Google Docs, and you know, because like some people, you know, you've got your comedians that are. You've got your Google Docs guy, and you got your iCloud comedians. And your iCloud comedians talk like this, and your Google comedians talk like that. You know, but the important thing for you to know is that Bustérs is not a scam. There's no scammery going on. I am not even smart enough to scam people. I don't even know how to do that. It's impossible. But you know, I also have other things I do sometimes, other segments, other types of things like that. Let's see what else we have. I also do the $1 billion ideas segment. We've got, you know, one of the inventions is the de-smellerizer. That is an air purifying tip that you can add to your vape pen that takes all the stinky vape smell out of things. It smells just like pure air. Another invention I'm working on is an Amazon competitor that doesn't totally suck. If you don't go to Amazon, where do you go? You go to Walmart.com or eBay. Those websites suck ass. How about tattoos that are only visible when you're cold? Another invention I'm working on. Also, the six-pack countdown. It's an app that tells you exactly how many sit-ups you are away from getting a six-pack. House parties that you can pay to attend, you know, because not everybody is cool enough to get invited to exclusive parties. But what if you could just pay to go to these cool parties? That would be an option. Also, a suicide detection chip on a gun that will not fire if a user has put it in their own mouth. Also, a smart hearing aid with autocomplete that listens to what people are telling you and suggests a reasonable response based on what they say. Also, going to create a service that takes your PS5 trophies, catalog, and prints out real physical trophies for you to own. If you're a super dork, you know, it's the age of dweebs and dorks and losers. How do I know? Because I've looked in the mirror. The racism avoidance counselor. This is a black guy that you pay to ask questions about how to best navigate situations without coming across as racist. We also have a real-time pixelation app for AR. If some creep tries to flash you on the bus, this app will automatically blur out their genitals so you don't have to see anything disturbing, even for a second. Cop Manipulator Simulator. That is a game that puts you in virtual scenarios where you have to talk to cops the right way to avoid a bad outcome. One of the main things it tells you is, hey, don't bite this police officer. Not going to turn out well. Also, a video app like YouTube that scans your face and changes to playing a new video when it can tell that you look bored. And those are the latest inventions that I am working on at the laboratory, and hopefully we will get to it soon. Sponsored by Energy. Camnesia. So this is the HB dictionary. These are some new words for the Zoomers and the Alpha kids now. You know, Zoomers aren't even the latest generation. It's the Alpha babies who are the new generation. Which means, you know, manhood is over because even 3-year-olds are now the alphas of the world. So camnesia, that's when you forget you're on camera and you do something embarrassing. A doc blocker is someone who always disagrees with their doctor's opinion. Girl cotting is when you boycott a company because they support transgender rights. A nepo adult is a parent of someone who is successful, and they become successful just because their child is successful. Faceism, that's when you don't trust a person because their head is a particular shape. You know, if you're a faceist, you might hate people with really round heads or really tall heads, or people who look like Sam Roberts with cone heads. There's also something called hate baiting. This is something that Sam Hill does, where you purposely say and do things on your show to cultivate an audience of hate watchers. Red pillows. These are lies that red pillers tell themselves about their favorite creators, like Andrew Tate, so that they can sleep at night. Things like, you know, Andrew Tate doesn't really hate women. He actually loves them. Vita men. These are men whose entire lives revolve around optimizing their nutrition and supplements. We've got chem boys. These are men who used to be femboys, but they took chemicals to be masculine. Example would be Joe Rogan is a chem boy. He used to be girly, but he took HGH and TRT. Another one is train rack. This is a boob job that didn't turn out well. A science cell, an incel who uses pseudoscience to justify their hatred of women. Respectacles. These are glasses that command respect from other people. Liber alligator. This is someone who seems like a soft left-winger, but will actually eat you alive. Example is Destiny is a liber alligator. Don't be fooled by his blue hair. All right. So that's, you know, those are just some words that are taking over the new world. Taking over the world. But forget about the monologue, forget about inventions, forget about the dictionary. What people really want is motivation, you know. I am nothing if not a motivational speaker. People around the internet, they say, you know, HB, yes, he's a broadcaster. Yes, he's a streamer. Yes, he makes jokes. But the reason I listen is to be motivated. Which is why am here to do that. And no problem. Don't worry about it. It's what I do. So here's just a little fuel for your life. You know, believe in yourself, because if you don't, who will? You know, I like to say to people, if believing in yourself is corny, maybe it's worth being corny. If you think self-care is lame, think about the alternative, letting yourself fall apart. Success is mandatory. The speed at which you get there is your choice. You're a winner. You just don't know it because you're not paying attention to the evidence. Perform at your best, and you're less likely to be depressed. Failures are just the breaks between your successes. Nobody is beating you in the game of life because the only person you're competing against is yourself. Success isn't about not failing. It's about not letting your failures make you quit. When someone tells you you're going to fail, say, well, of course I would fail if I had your mindset. Luckily, I'm not you. The human brain can do amazing things, and you have one, which means you're capable of amazing things. Success isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about realizing you were never missing anything in the first place. All right, so there's your motivation. That's what I'm going to, so really get after it, get on it, get out there. And you might just find that you are a happier, more powerful person than you ever thought you could be. Not thanks to me. No. Thanks to the power that you already have in yourself. Now, a lot of people are going to say, I don't know if I like this persona. I don't know if I like this successful, motivational guy. Well, maybe that's because you're not ready to see the full potential in yourself. Maybe you don't understand that what you're doing is amazing. Maybe you don't realize that you've got it. You're ready to go, and you just need to get the fuck out there. Or if you're an indoor person, that's fine too. Succeed in the way that you were meant to succeed, and reach your goals in exactly the way that you were meant to, because you are a person that needs to, that already has all the power they need. It's just a matter of using it. You know, people want to get charged up, but they don't need to get charged up. They just need to see what's in front of them, see what's going on. So, with that said, you know, there's a lot of things that people do and people say when they are trying to hate. You know, people define their lives. People get upset that they're living shitty lives. People get upset that they are that it is what it is. What is your skin regimen? Good question. It's just using the power of positivity, using the believing in yourself, and knowing that you have the power to succeed. You know me. I'm the type of person who just does what it takes you know, no, I don't have a skin regimen. Jesus. I'm fucking... Okay, I need to sit in a chair next time. Definitely need to do that. And I also need to get some better lighting in here. But you know, folks are doing everything it takes these days to get to the next level. But they're not appreciating the level that they are on. And that's the bottom line, everyone. You know? If you just think you're going to be a big piece of shit, then you might end up being a big piece of shit. But that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. It just means that that's what you've set out to be, and you've achieved your goal of being mediocre. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean that you're not great. It just means that you've been living in a certain way, and that's it. So yeah, the new era of the show. Look, as we build, as we go further, as we move up in the world, both of YouTube and Instagram, you know, things will get better. Things will get amazing. Until then, you know, just the main thing I just want to appreciate is to have anybody show up at all, because when you're rebuilding your castle, when you're rebuilding yourself, sometimes it can take a long damn time. And that's okay. Don't let it stop you from, you know, succeeding. So I had my computer with notes on it. Of course, it shut down. Oh, well, it is what it is. You know, I tried. I did my best. Ooh, I can't even sit. I'm like an old person, you know? My leg don't even work. It's totally, like if I stood up right now, my leg, I would fall over and be dead. In the future, I want to cover some more of the Steve Rees show, whatever the hell it's called, and that's it. So, thank you, folks, for joining in. Shorter show this week, but we'll be back in the future with some truly amazing content. Thank you for watching.